Hey everyone, I've been playing a bit, oh wait, sorry. Today is Friday, September 14th. Just jumping the gun there. I've been playing a bit of Star Trek Online. I played some yesterday, played some more this morning. Mostly what had happened was I had discovered the joys of my Klingon character again. He flies the Bortos battle cruiser, I think is what it's called. The the one that I got for free for the anniversary of the game. Um, which apparently, if you have a tier 5 space station, you can get for 200,000 fleet credits, which isn't too bad. Um, the My Bortos is a bit of fun to play, but I was noticing that it's extremely sluggish. And I wasn't enjoying that fact. Turning around was a laborious process, to say the least. Um, and it's all well and good to just, drive straight when there's just a group of bad guys in front of you, because then I wind up wiping out the entire group of bad guys with minimal directional control. So, I mean, it's not a problem on this guy. But it came to my attention this morning when I was poking through the Klingon ships, just for fun. I mean, I wasn't really committed to changing ships or anything, and I'm still keeping the Bortos on the ready line. The I was looking at the ships and I noticed that I had a Lieutenant General token left over from when I hit Lieutenant General. Um, and there were two ships that really caught my eye. One was the Burrell Bird of Prey retrofit with an enhanced battle cloak, and all of its bridge officer slots are universal, and so it's pretty sweet. It's fully like entire customization. Like if you want control over everything, bam, that's the ship to have. With regards to your bridge officers, anyways. The other ship was the Carfi battle carrier, and I was looking between the two of them. Do I really want to go from one big ship to another big ship, or do I want to, go from a big ship that's slow and bulky to a really fast and maneuverable one? And someone in the chat pointed out to me that the Burrell retrofit has a gimmicky battle cloak, and it's made of essentially wet cardboard in that it dies very quickly. As an engineering captain, I don't like ships that die really quickly. It's a pet peeve of mine. I'm not a fan of them. I'm going to stop doing that. So, I went ahead and selected the Carfi battle carrier. I'm a fan of carriers. I grew up playing flight sims off of carriers. Wing Commander for the win. So I immediately started tackling the issue of what do I do with this carrier? How do I play it? Where, what skills do I use? What bridge officer abilities do I use? And what weapons am I going to use? What layout? What arrangements? These things. And after muddling through it or anything, I think I've settled on a few things. I've already picked out the bridge officer skills for now. Bridge officer skills are forever in motion. But I'm running Science Team 1, mainly because it's in use on my primary vessel, the Bortos. And so it's going in the ensign slot. Science Team 1 is there purely for clearing debuffs. I mean, I don't intend to use it very often. Or if I need a quickie shield heal, and then the other science skills, because I have 4 more, I get 5 science skills, I get 5 tactical skills, and I get 2 engineering skills, which this is a big thing for me. I'm not fond of having so few engineering skills. The other science skills are Transfer Shield Strength 1, Hazard Emitters 2, Tractor Beam 3, and Gravity Well 2, because I didn't feel like sifting through the millions of bridge officers on the exchange looking for the one that might have Gravity Well 3 and that person's asking for like 6 million credits for. So Gravity Well 2 will have to do for now. Plus I might change my mind about it. The Engineer has Emergency Power to the Shields 1 and Reverse Shield Polarity 1. If you notice here, so far I have 4 shield heals and 1 hull heal. I'm very iffy about these things. I don't know what's going on. Then I have, for the tactical skills, on the Lieutenant Tactical Officer, I have Tactical Team 1 and Scatter Volley 1. This is another bridge officer that's being used by my Bortos, so I'm very reluctant to change his skills. Then the Lieutenant Commander Tactical Officer is also using Tactical Team 1, and the concept is to switch Tactical Team 1s, because the buff lasts 15 seconds, or maybe 10 seconds. The shared cooldown between them is 15, and the overall cooldown for the 1 is 30. So every 15 seconds you could turn one of them on, meaning you have a I want to say you have a 40-second uptime every 60 seconds. So if I keep on top of it and don't use Science Team, or use one of them on somebody else, then the next skill in line is Dispersal Pattern Alpha 1, and then I have Attack Pattern Omega 1. Attack Pattern Omega 1 is primarily there as a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's, oh crap, I'm in trouble, I need to move now. Oh crap, I've been caught up by tractor beams and evasive maneuvers is on cooldown. You know, that sort of thing. It also increases your damage output, so it's more than just an emergency power. Dispersal Pattern Alpha is because I'm intending on using 2 mine launchers in the back end of my vessel, and because I'm using 2, Dispersal Pattern Alpha is very attractive to me. The difference, there are 2 Dispersal Pattern skills for mine launchers. One is Alpha, one is Beta. Alpha releases, as you move, it releases 2 groups of 4 mines, like little clusters, as you move along. Beta releases a net of 8, and it gets bigger with the higher end skill. So I'm looking at Dispersal Pattern Alpha, and I'm like, the reason I'm attracted to this is because effectively now I'll be dropping 3 groups of mines instead of 2 groups of mines. You see what I'm getting at here? Dispersal patterns, the standard mine launchers, except for the Tricobalt, I'm iffy on that one, kick out a little net of 5 every time. I don't know what the shared cooldown is, but essentially what's going to happen is one mine launcher is going to kick out the net of 5, is going to go on cooldown, and then the other one's going to kick out the net of 5, and then go on cooldown. The way Dispersal Pattern Alpha is going to work is the first one's going to kick out Dispersal Pattern Alpha. So it's going to be a cluster of 4 mines, then a cluster of 4 mines, and the other one's going to kick out the net of 5. Versus Dispersal Pattern Beta kicking out 8 and then another 5. So you see what I'm getting at here? I'm spreading them out horizontally instead of having these like vertical panels. Either way, though, they home in on anything within 4 kilometers, any enemies. And I intend to put it on auto fire, so I'm going to be kicking them out all the time. Yeah. Oh well. I'm looking at plasma weapons. Plasma turrets and mines. 5 plasma turrets, and then the 2 mine launchers go in the back. I might mess with that a little bit. Like, I don't know. Just a little bit. But as it stands, that's kind of how I'm approaching these. Also, I want to get the full Borg set, which will require me doing at least 10 more Special Task Force missions. In a way, I'm looking forward to it. In a way, I'm not. In the meantime, what I could probably do if I really want to play the car feat, which I really do, is shell out credits for the baseline frigates, because I want to run the frigates out of the hangars, and buy kind of baseline green, at best blue, plasma weaponry and consoles. Like, I don't want to spend more than 50,000 credits on anything, because this guy has like maybe 1.3 million credits tops, so I'm trying to keep this cheap here. So I need to buy all the consoles, I need to buy all the weapons, and then I'll pull the Aegis set off the Bortos temporarily to help run the car fee. And then once I've done 10 more STFs, I'll be able to buy the other 2 parts of the Borg set and run the full Borg set on the car fee and leave the Aegis set on the board toss. And then I'll have to run the mission assimilation in order to get the console, the Borg console, but that's not too big a deal. Shouldn't be a problem. I mean, hell, I've done it before. I think I've gone on long enough about this, but it does underscore a different point here, something related but different. I am definitely a nerd. I am unironically passionate about this game. Star Trek Online is, I believe, to be one of the pinnacles of multiple approaches to a single problem. It is, in my eye, an amazingly well done game. It has its problems. It's not perfect. But I feel that the level of customization inherent in the game lends itself to a, you know what? Nobody can tell you how to play the game. All they can do is recommend ideas. And those ideas inspire others. That's all that anyone can do for you. They can't tell you you have to play the game a certain way. Now, for the STFs, there are gimmicks to the missions, but how you go about dealing with said gimmicks is up to you. So, depending on your captain, like, there's so many variables here for Star Trek. You have your character. From moment one, you have to start making decisions. Are you tactical, engineering, or science? That determines your base skill set, like the abilities that are available to your captain. Then you go in and you pick a few traits. These are passives that are with you the entire life of your character. So you've got 2 things already right there at character creation. Your skills that you get as you level up and your passives that are there the entire time. Then, later, it's the ships you pick with their bridge officer layouts and their weapon arrangements and their devices and consoles. It's the weapon types you choose to use, the different types of weapons, not just the energy types, but the weapons themselves. Then there's the combinations of deflectors, shields, and engines. Are you going to use a whole set? Are you going to use half of this set and a part of that set? Are you going to do these kind of consoles? You're going to use these kind of consoles, these devices, those devices. Are you going to take advantage of these bridge officer skills or some of these others? How often are you using them? Are you running into combat at full impulse, or are you using some kind of cloaking device? Or, like, what are you doing? Everything is a variable. And that's what makes this game so incredibly amazing. Also partly makes pickup groups really irritating if people aren't working with tested builds. But this is a game that no one can sit you down and say, re-roll your character, you built it wrong. Because you can't build your character wrong. You can make poor decisions with regards to your bridge officer skills and your weapon loadouts and your power distribution and what have you. But everything is salvageable. And because the game is in the state it is right now, where there isn't too much new content coming out every day, or every week, or every other week, or what have you, there's this underlying encouragement to keep looking at the game slightly differently, to keep changing your approaches. My Iowa would be less interesting if I didn't have that subspace jumper that teleports me right behind an enemy, like 3 kilometers behind an enemy. The assault cruiser refit that they recently released, I love it, but it caused me to make some critical decisions as to my bridge officer skills. It wasn't that hard though. Finally, I have tactical team. There are some skills that you don't want to live without, and unfortunately I'm getting ready to live without engineering team on this carrier. Wish me luck. Until next time.